Now, the Nigerian bourse is trading at an all-time low. However, Austin Ejola, head of equity at Planet Capital, is here to shed some light on what his stock picks will be for the week. Thank you so much, Austin. I suppose that could be a pretty difficult one, given what's happened at the market. It's just been a free fall for both the all-share index and all the key indicators at the market this week.
Thank you, Esther. We saw yesterday, for instance, the market losing over 4%. In what appears to be an exhaustive move in the market. The fall in the market is now connected with the fears concerning the strength of the Nigerian economy, crude oil prices trading below $80. There are fears, security concerns, there are fears of the possible devaluation of the Naira, and all of that. All of this, it's impacting on the market, and that is what we've seen in the past couple of days.
Yes, well, there is a cocktail of bad news out there, cocktail of doom and gloom. But at what point is this market going to get exhausted? We're down there. I'm just looking at the indicators from the NSE at this moment. The all-share index is actually now down to 33,000 points.
I think the market will get a bottom up at a point where the factors responsible for the direction of the market in recent weeks are addressed. The oil price, for instance, if we see the oil begin to trade above $80, that could possibly bring a respite to the market. If we've seen the efforts by CBN governor to defend the Naira, if it's working, we may see some actions in that regard. But the question is, how far can the CBN...
Speaking about the CBN, that intervention we saw yesterday, it doesn't appear that there is a market reaction. Shouldn't that spur some confidence on the part of the market that at least the monetary authorities are still willing to do what it takes to support the Naira?
It could. Maybe by the end of today and the subsequent days, we'll be able to tell whether the actions of the CBN CBN.
And unfortunately, it's a Friday, so we might have to wait next week.
We'll definitely have to wait till next week to see how market will respond effectively to the new direction of the CBN in this regard. But importantly, until the factors that are responsible for the downtrend in the market are addressed, we probably will not see a correction anytime soon.
So we can only hope, because okay, wasn't you asked last week what the silver lining to all of this is? Of course, the silver lining, the response I have gotten is stocks are at an all-time low, valuations are very stretched, and it's a good re-entry point for investors, but that doesn't appear to be motivating investors at this point. Well, let's talk about who the biggest losers have been this week for you.
We've seen heavy losses with the highly capitalized stocks, the likes of Danksem, the likes of Fort Leoy, the likes of the banking sector, for instance, the likes of UBA, the likes of Zenith, and all of that. They've all lost massively within the week. Hopefully, in the course of days, we'll see a bottom out if these factors are responsible for these markets directions are addressed.
Now, I know that literally almost all the stocks have taken a hit, but particularly those stocks you've just mentioned, they have been particularly hit. Is there a reason why they have suffered such huge losses?
I think from the consumer sector, for instance, before now, a lot of analysts' consensus was more of they were highly overvalued relative to their earnings. And the market direction has just provided opportunity for people to take profit and run out of that sector. But going forward, some of them have dropped significantly. The likes of Unilever, for instance, have dropped from over 50 Naira to about 30, 28 today. The likes of PZ from over 50 to lower than 20 Naira. We've not seen PZ trading around this level maybe in the last 5 years. So all of this have happened because of the market sentiment relative to their value in terms of their earnings power.
But are there any stocks? Let's talk about your top stock picks. Do you think there are any stocks that they have shown resilience this week, regardless of the storm that's been at the market?
Well, I think GT, to a large extent, has shown resilience within the last few weeks, where we've seen massive losses in the banking sector. GT have remained stable, and that is now connected with their performance and general market perception that it's a bank that it's doing very well. I think Zenith too have shown some resilience, having traded within the 2022 region for some time. Aside that, we've also seen the likes of Dangote, even though it's dropped to lower than 200, which happens to be a general support level for it. It's also shown resilient, given the level of price movement that could happen within that level. So some of these stocks have shown resilience despite the fact that the market has been all-time here.
Okay, now for the NSE authorities, how worried do you think they are right now, or will they also have to just sit and wait and just wait this storm out?
I think it's beyond the NSE authorities, okay, because it's a market that reflects the general mood of the economy. If the economy is looking very rosy, you will see that reflect in the market, and if it's the other way around, you see that also in the market. So I think it's largely beyond what the authorities can handle at this point in time.
Okay, so I guess everybody's also thinking that, yes, we know that equities are very risky assets, and of course, everybody should be in for both the good times and the bad times. And so, I mean, if you're going through the bad time right now, well, just get over it and wait till the good times come again.
It's one of the cycle. It's up and down, and this is just the down part. I'm sure by the time the CBN and the authorities in charge of managing the Nigerian economy sit down to look at all these factors, okay, I'm sure definitely there will be a way out for.
All right. Thank you so much, Austin, for talking to us. Thank you for taking us through the markets.
Thank you.
Well, that was Austin Ejola.